Hello friends, welcome to CD channel for software development. In this session you can learn about keyword driven framework for QA automation. Thank you all for watching my videos. In case you are enjoying my videos and learning automation testing and Java, please like and share my videos. Keyword-driven framework is a technique in which all the operations and instructions to be performed are written separately from the actual test case. It is similar to data-driven framework, where operation to be performed is stored in an external file like Excel sheet, and users can easily control and specify the functionalities they want to test. So in the diagram you can see I will put all keywords actions in a keyword library, and this data will interact with the automation script, will test input data, and then the data will interact with the application under test. And similarly, application under test will send output data to automation script, and the automation script will send the test output data to keyword library. For this session we will use Facebook as an example for keyword driven framework. So the scenario is, first I want to launch Chrome browser, then I will open the Facebook page, then I want to add my email address in email field, then I will want to add my password in the password field, then I want to click on forgot password link, and in the last step I want to close the browser. So these 6 steps I want to perform in the keyword driven framework. So let's build the framework from the scratch. So to build the framework you will need to create a data file. So this is my Excel file with the data where I put all information about my test cases. In this case I have only one test case. So in this framework, first we need to identify all steps to be performed for automation testing on this application. So I already mentioned there are 6 steps. First, you open the browser. Second step, we navigate to URL. Third step, we enter email. Fourth step, we enter any password. Fifth step, we click on the forgotten password link. And sixth step is we close the browser. Once we identified all these steps, the next what we do is we create keywords. Here I already created some keywords in the keyword column. Also I created some more columns, which is test ID. We have only one test case. Test name, you can call it launch Facebook. Test steps from 1 to 6. If you want to create more test cases, you can give it like test case 1, test case 2, and so on. So my steps gotta match to my keywords, which is open Chrome browser. It's gotta be open browser. Navigate to URL. It's gonna be navigate to URL. Enter any email. It's gonna be enter email. Enter any password. Enter password. Click on the forgotten password link. Click forgotten password. Close the browser. Close browser. So we create these keywords and follow these standards so that our coworkers later down the line, for example 6 months or so on, it would be easier to understand test cases. So this is the reason why we actually work on this type of framework. Now let's create our project. So let's name it keyword driven framework. So in my new framework I will create some packages. So first package is gonna be constants. Next package is gonna be page object. Next package is test cases. And the last package is utilities. Next, I want to add some dependencies for POM XML file. And I'm gonna place them over here and click update. Now it's all up to date. I got JUnit, Selenium, TestNG, log4j, Selenium, Apache POI. Next, in a constant package, I will create a class and I will name it framework constant. So this class I created to declare all constants. So here I want to place all important things. I want to declare here all my file paths. Here I want to declare base URL, file path, username and password. And later on, whatever email ID I want to use, I can store in this class. So first I want to declare base URL, which is public static final string base URL. Then when a URL is declared, I will put my file path, which means I have to give a path where I stored my data Excel file. Then I will declare another variable for username. In this case, I'm using my email ID, email.second@myyahoo.com. Similarly, I will use another variable that is called password. And my password is hello w1234 exclamation point. So here is 4 constants that I declared. So we are doing this here in case if you want to change URL or any other variables, we can go directly to this class and change it over here. Yeah, for example, I changed my password. I go to this file and type another password right over here. Next, I want to create a page object. Here, I'm going to create new class and name it login page. In this class, I will create some actions. So these actions will be performed on the browsers. So let's declare a global variable. So it's WebDriver. So with this driver instance, we will run everything. So public static WebDriver. So let's open data file and we will see the first action is open browser. So let's do this first. This is going to be our first action. So here is going to be our public void open browser. So this is the syntax for creating the method. Public is the modifier, void is a return type, and open browser is a method name. So how can we open it? We need to save properties for Chrome driver. So first I want to set property for Chrome driver, and this is the path of the Chrome driver. Then I want to instantiate the Chrome driver. We want to import it from Selenium Chrome driver, and then I will maximize the window. So first thing we completed, which was open browser. Next is going to be navigate to URL. So I copy that keyword and go back to my class and here I will put public void and place the keyword navigate to URL. So here is going to be my method's name, navigate to URL. Now let's work on the method's body. So what is the body? So first I gotta wait for about 10 seconds. So I'll put driver manage that timeout that implicit wait 10 seconds. Then I gotta get that URL, which is driver get framework constant dot base URL. So here framework constants we got from our class framework constants, and we declare a base URL over here. So these two keywords I already created here, navigate to URL and open browser. So these two methods I already created here for our keywords, which is navigate to URL and open browser. And next part is I want to enter my email address, which is over here. Enter my email. I will copy this keyword and come back to my class. So let's create a method for entering an email. So similarly, it's going to be public void, and my method name is enter email, and I'm gonna put body over here. So for entering the email, we need to locate an element on the page. Let's inspect the page, and here we have ID element. I'm gonna copy it. Let's come back to our class. So my syntax will be driver dot find element by unique ID, which is email, and we will send keys, which is framework constants dot username. We will send my username, which is my email. So this is another method which is called enter email. Now let's create method for entering a password. I will create another method, and the keyword is enter password. So here I create enter password. Now let's inspect and find our element locator for password, and we have a unique ID pass. Let's copy and come back to our class. Here we will put another line, which is driver.find element by our unique ID, which is pass dot send keys. I'm gonna send our password, which is coming from our framework constant over here. So here's the 4 keywords that I already created, which is open browser, navigate to URL, enter email, and enter password. And on our Excel file, we can see open browser, navigate to URL, enter email, and enter password. And we have click forgotten password and close browser. So let's copy this keyword and come back to our class. And next line is going to be public void click forgotten password, and the keyword is click forgotten password. So I gotta click on the forgotten password link. So if you want to click on that link, we gotta inspect it first, and this link we can identify with the text forgot password Let's copy it and come back to our case. Here in the body, in the method body, we will put this line, which is driver.find element by link text, which we found forgotten password, and then we gotta click on it. And the last method I create is a close browser. Let's copy the keyword. Here I will put another line, which is public void in our keyword close browser method. And in the body, I need to close the browser, right? So I'm gonna put this line driver.quit. This will close the browser. All right, now I created my login page class. Let's go again through the whole thing. So here I declare the global variable for the driver, and then I started creating all methods for my keywords: open browser, navigate to URL, enter email, enter password, click forgotten password, and close browser. Now we need to create a class for reading a data from Excel sheet. For this we will use Apache POI library, which allows us to read the data using Java. So in the utilities package, I will create a new class and I will call it read Excel sheet data. Once I created the class, I will define my methods here to read the data. First, I'm gonna create a method which is called public array list and giving it read Excel data. So here I want to read those columns, so I'm gonna pass a variable integer. So integer column number. Now let's import the class. First we will create a variable string that is called string file path, where I give the path of the file. So equal to framework constant dot file path. Next I will create a variable for a file class equal to new file, and I'm giving the file path over here, same that I have over here. Once I created a file class variable, I need to read the Excel sheet. Then I will read how many sheets are there. Then I will read how many rows and columns. So I'm gonna use the file input stream class, and I will create the variable called this equal to new file input stream, and here I provide the reference for the file class, and I need to throw the IO exception. Now I will create a variable for reading a workbook. So the syntax is XSSF workbook, and I will give the variable name WB equal new XSF workbook, and I will give the reference this over here. Now I need to go to the worksheet, so I need to get there with a similar way. So I'm gonna use now XSSF sheet, and the variable name is sheet, which I will read with the help of whatever I created for workbook, which is WB dot get sheet, and the sheet name is sheet 1. I will change this to another name. Gonna use XSSF sheet. Now I will be using some iterator. to iterate all the rows of the cell. So I'll put iterator row equal to, I need to use this sheet dot row iterator, because I want to iterate through row by row. Then I want to iterate next. So I need to import the iterator over here. Then I will create another array list. We will give it a string data type, and the array list name is data list, and it is gonna be equal to new array list. For seeking the next availability using the reference variable, here I will be using iteration. So I will be using a while loop. While the variable name is the row iterator dot has next row I will be storing in the row variable row iterator dot next. So this is the syntax to iterate row by row. Now I gotta get the cell. I will create the variable for cell equal to, I will be using that row variable over here. Put row dot, first I'm getting to the row and then I'm getting to the cell. So row dot get cell, and here I gotta pass the column number, whatever variable I already given. Then I will create another variable for data. I'm gonna put string, the variable name is data equal to cell dot get string cell value. Then whatever data I created for the array list, I will add the data. So data list dot add the data, whatever I storing in the string variable. So I'm adding the data. So I return data list. Now I will create another method to read that column, and later on I will give which exactly column I want to read. So I will create another variable over here and name it demo file, and we need to give some integer. In our case it's integer I, and there is no body required, so it's just empty because I'm passing a reference in which column I want to read the data. So in our case it's the column 4, 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So now our class is done for reading the Excel sheet. So here I'm creating a string variable file path, and I'm reading it from framework constants. Then I will need to create a file variable for the file class. Then I gotta create a variable phase for file input stream. Then I created a variable workbook for XSS workbook. Then I created a variable for sheet. Then we gotta go to the row, and then we iterate row one by one. Once those rows are done, then we will get the data from the row, then we will get the data from the cell, and we will store it in the data. We will get the string value of the data, and we will add the data, and definitely we will return, and we will adding everything in the array list. This is what we gotta return over here. And another method I created is demo file for reading the file. Now I will create one more class where I will call all the methods that I already created, and I will perform all actions that is mentioned in the Excel sheet. So in the test case package, I will create another class and call it keyword driven test. So here I will first create an object for read Excel sheet data with a variable read sheet equal to import class and equal to new read Excel sheet data. So this is the syntax for creating the object. Then I want to read which column I want to read, where I keep all my keywords. So rc.demo file. So I called a data file method with an argument. Then whatever key action I created, I will create another class for a particular key action. So for login page equal to, I'm gonna call it KA new login page, and we performed actions using keyword actions. So once I created the object for the instance, then I will just simply call all the actions or method's name. So I will be calling all actions one by one. So key action dot open browser. So let me add something over here, which is public void test case name. Right, next I gotta navigate to the URL. So it's gonna be ka.navigate to URL. Next I gotta enter an email. Next I gotta enter a password, and last action I gotta close a browser. So once read Excel sheet data and login page is created, they're matching to the Excel sheet. So I created the object for the instance for the read Excel sheet data class, where I'm reading the data from the column number 4, and then I'm creating the object instance for the login page, where I return all keywords matching to the Excel sheet. So once it's done, I'm simply calling all the actions, which are keywords. So I'm calling them one by one. Now let's try to run it, but before that, I'm gonna put some script over here for testng. Now we can run our test case in testng. Before that, make sure you have your Excel sheet closed. Alright, let's run our test case. So we open the browser and perform all actions, and as you can see, the test case is passed. Also, let's put one more action over here, ka.click forgotten password. And in our login page, we will change our text to forgot password. And let's run it again. Now everything has passed. So that's all about keyword driven framework. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.